It's James here, and today I thought I'd do a basic guide to Cube World equipment. If you want to customize your weapon, no matter what class you are, you want to come to this customization bench here, right? Now that's in the smithy, which is characterized by this little hammer and anvil icon, which you can see over here as well. So every class uses a customization bench, regardless of what your weapons are made of. Now you can only customize weapons, not armor, but you can customize shields. And you can rotate them when you're customizing by middle clicking them. It's also a right click to start customizing as well. So you can attach cubes to your shields and weapons in order to customize them. Now that's really simple. You just left click with the cube you want. Left click on the cube you want, and then left click wherever you want to put it. Now there's two types of cubes. There's basic metal cubes, or wooden cubes if you use wooden. Now you can get wood cubes from logs, which you need to use the sawmill, and I'll show you that in a minute. You need to use the sawmill to convert them into wood cubes. And you get logs from cutting down bushes. The iron cubes are a little more difficult to find, but you tend to find them in greater quantities because in caves you'll find these things called iron deposits, and if you smack them about a bit, they'll drop some iron ore, which is what we've got here, or iron nuggets, sorry. And then you can convert them into usually one iron cube, but you'll find that occasionally, as you see there, you get more than one, up to 4 iron cubes from one iron nugget. So once you've got some iron or wood, depending on what your weapon is, you can attach it here. Now attaching iron or wood doesn't do a lot for your weapon because they're very basic, but it does let you customize the weapon so that you can have it look how you want. Like for example, if we look at my weapon that I've equipped here, if I angle that, you'll see these are all wind spirits, and they're a slightly different shade from the metal, but they're basically metal coloured. So I didn't like the sort of ridges on that, so I kind of filled them out with wind spirits. Now there's 4 types of spirits. If we look over here, you can see them. There's the fire spirit, which is a really basic one, and it just adds more damage to your sword. There's the ice spirit, which slows down enemies you hit with a weapon that it's on. So that's useful for rogues, for example, because obviously they want to dodge attacks, and that makes it easier. There's the unholy spirit, which gives it a chance of healing you every time you hit stuff, which is really good. And there's wind spirits, which increase the rate at which you hit. So that's again really useful for rogues because we want to be able to hit stuff really fast. Or in fact, they're all useful for every class, but I just like, pertaining them to my own. So yeah, those work the same as any other cube. You just grab them and drop them where you want. Now the reason I couldn't attach that is because if we look down here, it's already got the maximum number of cubes on it. So two-handed weapons like long swords or great axes or clubs can only take up to 32 cubes, whereas one-handed weapons can only take 16 cubes. Now you'll notice that the availability of my different spirits keeps changing. Now the reason for that is you can't use a spirit with a higher power. You'll notice those also have powers. If a spirit has a higher power than the weapon you're trying to attach it to, it won't let you. But it also has to have a power that's no less than 10 below the power of that. So for example, I can attach this unholy spirit 79 to this because its power is 83. Now I can attach this, but if I go in here, I've got a plus 20 as well. But it won't let me attach that because it's far too low leveled. Now this is an unholy spirit plus 79, and if I swap back to my 78, that vanishes because it's too high leveled for this weapon. So it won't let me attach that anyway. Now once you've attached stuff, you can break it off and move it to another part of the weapon. But if you break it off and drop it over outside the interface, it's gone. You lose it completely. So that's basically weapon customization, and the more of each thing you add, then the more powerful your weapon gets. And yeah, so you can get some pretty cool looking swords. Like for example, this one was just a plain sort of sword there, or like there, and I built this entire sort of hook thing on the end of it, and then added some bits at the bottom. So you can attach it to the handle as well. Again, this is overloaded, so it won't let me actually add anything. But you can basically put it anywhere you want. So yeah, that's a good summary of gear in Cube World. How to find the best stuff. Killing bosses is the best way to get new gear. And in fact, spirit cubes for your weapons only come from killing bosses. So that's the ice, fire, unholy, and wind cubes. Those only come from bosses. And if you do a daily mission, because those are scaled to your level, then you'll nearly always get a cube that's appropriate for your level, which is definitely what you want. If you just kill bosses in the wilderness, you'll tend to get like cubes that are +5 or whatever, and those generally aren't great because they'll not attach to your weapon easily, and they're a bit of a pain. So anyway, thanks for listening. If this has been helpful to you, please subscribe or comment below.